It's that time of year again, and it's a new set of bush barriers. So this is not just a how-to video, you get to see the new design for 2025. All right, let's get them out. When they come to you, they come in a box like this. And it's not a bad idea to like lay them out nice and flat. So I'm just going to put them here in the shade. Don't leave them in the sun when you do this. Get them all nice and flat. Maybe 1 to 1.5 beers waiting time, and then we can put them on the car. All right. Getting into my skills of Bilo night shift. All right, so when you open the box, something's changed. You get one of these little cloths, you'll need that, I'll talk about that in a minute. You'll get the instructions, how to do it. I kind of got my own way, but you should probably follow this. And what's this? This is new. It's either packing or a chamois. I don't know. I think it's just packing. Could have been something. Anyway. All right, now, BushBarriers do a fantastic job of packing these up. And they're all nice and flat. If you actually plan to ever put them in the box or travel with them again, although when I travel them, I usually put them under my caravan, under the bed in my caravan. Then you can keep the box, but otherwise, I'm going to get this all nice and flat. All right. Now, to let them flatten out. What are BushBarriers? Well, they're basically like a fridge magnet, laminated with something that they can print onto, any picture you want. So shout out here to Fuse Design, they do all the graphics for my cars. You can find Anthony on Facebook, it's probably the easiest way. And BushBarrier you can find on Facebook as well. But like if you actually want to order them, you can either go direct or you can go through Dash Off-Road website. We even have like our specific design dash ones that we stock in Adelaide, Melbourne and Perth 4x4 DNAs. So if you just want like a design like now, you can go into the shop and go and get them. Actually, it's Christmas Eve. No, when we open up. As I was saying, they're a magnet that sticks to your car, but BushBarrier have gone to the effort of getting the design perfect. So it actually follows all the shape of your vehicle, so it's absolutely perfect. But before you put them on, there's a couple of tricks that I do personally. So one, they give you this cloth, microfiber cloth. I'll wet that and I'll wipe the panel down because you want to put this on preferably in the shade so the panel's not hot. That doesn't really work for YouTube videos, so I'm going to do it now anyway. But I will wipe down the panel and I'll actually wipe down the back of the magnet as well, just so it's just ever so slightly moist, and through cohesion, it'll stick to the car and be perfect. Done one side. Do you want to see?
Sure.
All right, go.
Ah. Oh, that is good.
I think people are going to know where we're going for our holidays this year.
Wow.
The print they do now is so amazing.
That's so good.
All right, I'm going to do the other side. All right, give this a wipe down. Here we go. All right, so now I'm going to go panel by panel so you can see how I do this. When you're doing, oh man, I should have wiped that down better. When you're doing this rear quarter section, you need to do this part first because the top bit follows wherever this goes. I usually try and get it to where around the tail lights are, so I kind of know, I know this car because I've done them so many times now, but that's the sort of the spacing you need around the tail light. Now we're following basically the window line, and whilst the car is a little bit damp, and whilst the bush barriers are a little bit damp, you can twist them a little bit, but what you want to do is follow this line up there, and then essentially you're rolling them on now. So I'm just like, as if we're like vinyl wrapping sort of thing. Oh, it's close. I'll come down a fraction in a second. All right, next part, give it a wipe down. So when you order your bush barriers, or dash barriers from Dash, you need to tell us if you've got a snorkel, what type of snorkel. Like, so they're already pre-cut. Ooh, starting to give away a bit of the design now. They're pre-cut for safari snorkels or patrol doctor snorkels. Use my trademark move here. Oh, usually I put it in my head. Anyway, I just did it. And same with flares. So the slimline flares are the most common ones. I've got these extreme flares, which we don't actually sell anymore, so these aren't cut perfect. But if you've got the slimline dash flares, they can have them cut, pre-cut like perfectly for them. And same if you've got a V8 badge. So if you've got a Series 3 and onwards, actually Series 2 and onwards, you'll have a V8 badge on the front guard. And you just need to let us know before you order so we can cut that out. All right, here we go, you ready? So when you're doing the next panel, line up the door handle, and so we're getting the spacing, something like that, and then you're following the line of the previous panel. All right, gap, gap, getting it about right, like that, and now you're essentially rolling it onto the car. A couple little jiggles. Like I said, as long as it's wet, it's okay. We're following this margin at the top here, the line. Couple of little jiggles. And then when you're pretty comfortable that you've got your gap at the top right, the side, then you're following the panel down. And yeah, like I said, it's like you're vinyl wrapping the car. And I have to cut my extreme flares out there in a minute. I'll do that in a moment. All right, next. All right, so the idea is to get these flexing away from you. Like, you don't want them like that. You sort of want them like that. Perfect. That's my trademark technique. All right, exactly the same. Basically, you're framing up around the door handle first, following your margins at the top, just getting it to slightly stick. And when you know that you're going down parallel like that, get to the mirror and you do this little maneuver to get under the mirror, like that, keeping only just getting the magnetic part to work at the top at the moment, around the mirror mount. And when we've got it to there, that's when we can start rolling it down. And I'll pick that up and roll it down like that, making sure nothing's behind it, no bubbles. You'll find it's pretty common, especially when they're new, to sit up like that. And so I wouldn't drive with these straight away. I would leave them for like 24 hours before I actually drove with them. But by putting them in the sun, you can probably reduce that down to a couple of hours now. All right, the reveal is very close. All right, around the rear quarter window now. Same thing. Start on this side. Basically, I'm dragging the panel across this way until I see the shape match the window. When I get to about there, I'm going to leave like a millimetre gap and then follow the shape and roll it around. Got to get this to sit over the top. And then, it's a bit of a trick with this one. They want to like bubble here, so you've really got to just like curve this so it sits perfect. And then push that down real hard flat. See how I wanted to bubble? And now it's like that, it is set. Oh, these are looking so good. All right, last one. And then I can reveal the whole pattern in its entirety and the story. So essentially, every year I can get some bush barriers made. And like I said, you can get like designs pre-made up for you, but do the same thing. Use that as my starting point. But like I'll speak to Anthony and I'll say to him, look, this is what I'm doing this year. This is what's important. And I've had all different designs every year. This year, you'll see where I'm going for my holiday very, very soon. Look at that, beautiful. I got these in the gloss, by the way. I'm a big fan of the gloss. Look at that. And I said, all right, I'm going to Fraser Island. You know, I want something to remember this by for the rest of the year. So I want dingoes, I want the shipwreck, I want some forest, like as you cross from east to west coast. Like, it's just amazing in a patrol, having that V8 sound, sunroof open, windows down, bob, 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 and thinking about the forest over here. So these, for me, are memories. All right, wow, these look amazing. I swear, this is the best one yet. I'll give you a close look at everything. All right, as I was saying, rainforest, coming down into the water, Eli Creek, that's what that's sort of symbolising down here. Then we move on to the dingoes, and that's the shipwreck, which I'm told the sand's up to about there now. Anyway, looks good on the bush barriers. That just looks incredible. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So a couple of little things to talk about with these bush barriers. So you do have to take care of your paint. If you buy your car in 2020 and don't do anything to the paint for 4 years, and you put bush barriers on for 50% of its life, it actually doesn't look that great at the end. But if you follow these tips I'm about to tell you, get that ceramic spray. You can buy at all the auto shops, $79. Spray that on first. Your paint will be brilliant forever. You can wrap it first. Essentially, the better you clean your car before you put them on, the better the outcome's going to be. If you do a rubbish job like me, well, you know, you get what the effort that you put in. So keep the car clean, it'll be fine. Now, every time I do a fuel stop on the other side, but anyway, I'll just go around and I'll just check everything. These are the hottest parts of your car there. So when I do a fuel stop, I'll just run around, I'll just lift each one of them up, making sure no sand or anything gets in behind. And that's how they don't like stick on there forever. Because if you leave them on for, right, we're going away for 5 weeks. We're leaving on for the full 5 weeks. They'll be stuck. So I reckon, yeah, every 3-4 days, and I'll peel them off, wipe them down if need to behind them, put them back on. Same as like speed. BushBarrier have to say that they're not rated for speed because there'd be too many warranties, even though they're probably the best company I've ever dealt with for warranties. But yeah, once they're like adhered to the car, once they're stuck and on, like for 24 hours, that's it. They're not coming off. You can do 150 k's an hour. It's not going to come off. Storage, need to store them in a nice cool place. Don't stick them on metal because they'll lose their magnetism. What other tips can I give you? Really, it's cleaning. Clean the car best as you possibly can before you put them on. Clean the back of them, bit of water on the back, so like it's not going to scratch if both surfaces are wet. It's only going to scratch if it's dry, and it's only going to scratch if there's something on the bush barriers or the car to start with, and then you'll be fine. In that case, they have saved my car from sticks jamming into them. Like I write off a set of bush barriers every year because of the way I four-wheel drive. My car would look like a Dodgem car if it didn't have them. So would I buy them again? Absolutely. I've had heaps of them and I'd keep buying them, and probably in 2026 I'll buy some more because they're such a good product to protect the car. All right, this one's out. Go find your bush barriers at their website or dashoffroad.com.au.